Entertainment Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 9, and my thoughts on this amazing, a fucking amazing episode of real Star Trek. This episode wasn't just fucking perfect. It was what we should have gotten from every fucking franchise in the last fucking 5-6 years. Respect for the fans. Fucking showing us what we want and not trying to fuck us about. This episode was amazing. It's just every part, and I know there's one scene that hit me so fucking hard. Second scene that hit me so hard because there is a first scene, which is the end scene. But there was one scene that hit really hard that nearly brought me to fucking tears. And it was that, I can't spoil it, but it was gut-wrenching when that happened. And I get it, but I hate it. But it works for the story. Oh, God. There's just everything in this episode made me so happy that I am a Star Trek fan. It was just amazing. I mean, listen. Finding out what Jack is, I first thought it was boring. Because I thought, we've done this too many times now. It's kind of getting old. But when they explained it, and then you saw what happened, it's like a nightmare for Picard. It's Picard's biggest nightmare. And it was just amazing. And I want to go to spoilers now, but this is a 10 out of 10. It is the best fucking Star Trek I have ever seen. I add in every fucking real Trek series, the movies. This one episode was just amazing throughout. I cannot believe this happened. Yes, we've had two not so great episodes, but this episode makes up for it in fucking spades. It is so fucking good to see it on screen. And the fact that I am not going to be able to go to the cinema and watch this because they are not putting any cinemas in the UK to watch this pisses me off so much. You lucky fucking bastard Americans, you get to enjoy this in the cinema. I am so fucking jealous. It's just fucking amazing. 10 out of 10. Let's get into spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, and if you are here and you haven't watched the episode, stop wasting time watching me. Go watch the episode. It is fucking worth it. It is fucking worth it. So, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. The episode starts off with Troy and Jack having a session with each other, and Troy tries to get Jack to open the door to his mind. But Jack is very hesitant to do that because he still fears the door, so Troy offers to do it for him. She walks up to the red door and opens it, and when she sees what's inside of it, it terrifies the fuck out of her. To the point she has to leg it out of the room because she's now so scared of Jack. Now Jack screams like, "What did you see?" Troy then heads off to talk to Beverly and Picard to tell them what she's found out about Jack. It turns out Jack is a Borg. That was what was in his head, a Borg cube. And when Troy tells Picard about this, he doesn't understand what she means. He was never assimilated. how the hell could the Borg have control of his son? It turns out the Borg have done the most vicious, evilest fucking thing ever to Picard. They have put a genetic virus in him that he can pass on to his children. And Jack is a biological weapon for the Borg. And just to see that, it's like the Borg are fucking evil sons of bitches. I mean, fucking hell. To find out your son is Borg, it must have... it was just such a heart-wrenching scene to see Picard having to accept that. And then when Troy offers to go tell Jack herself, Picard stops her and says this needs to be him who tells his son what he is. So Picard goes off to tell Jack what he is and what the Big Red Door and what all of this, what's happened to Jack, means. So Picard goes there and tells Jack, you're Borg, son, and you're a biological Borg. And Jack gets angry when he hears this. He doesn't understand. He starts mentioning how he did like order. He thought people could work together if they were talking to each other. And he always just felt this was just him. But it might have been the Borg inside of him talking to him. And the voices in his head, it turns out Jack is somehow picking up Borg signals. That's why when Jack doesn't like to be on his own that much, or at least when he feels like he's on his own, he feels like he's hearing other voices. So the voices in his head are not changelings. He's not a changeling. He's Borg picking up signals. And it's, again, I thought it was boring, but when you start thinking about it, it makes so much sense. And then we start finding out about how Jack is controlling people. But we ain't there yet. But Picard has to tell Jack, his son, that he can't be a father to him right now. He has to be a Federation officer right now. And that's why Picard has 2 security officers at the door waiting for Jack. Because he knew how his son was going to react. Because Jack tries to head to the door, but there's 2 security officers there. And Jack just goes up to his father, and Picard tries to tell him, listen, I'm doing what's best for everybody. Because you are a danger to the entire Federation, because you're Borg. But then Jack comes back with, why did you never care this much about being a father? Or was that not programmed into you? And it's just, you know, Jack is just, you understand why he's angry. But you also understand what Picard is trying to do here. His son's a fucking Borg. The greatest enemy of the Federation. And he has to now put his son in prison or take him to the Federation so they can experiment on him, basically. And he's doing that for what's best for the Federation. But unfortunately, Jack still has his powers. So he uses his powers on the 2 security officers, and he pretty much tells Picard that he's now going to find out what's really going on, or at least find out what he really is. And he then leaves the room with his 2 security officers. He heads off to get a shuttle. Beverly tries to stop him, tries to get him to, to come with her to the medical base so she can try to help her son. But Jack's not having it. He leaves the 2 security officers to hold his mother back. He gets to a shuttle and he launches off and heads off. Well, he doesn't know where to go at first, but then he lets his mind tell him where to go, and his mind tells him to go to these coordinates, and that's where he heads to. Now, there is a problem with this, and I'm going to say it, I don't give a fuck, but why didn't the Titan use a tractor beam on Jack? I think if they put that scene in and just have Jack control one of the crewmen so he turned off the tractor beam, that might have been a bit better. Because the Titan is still fully operational. It still has a crew. You could have done that. That's a little bit of a criticism, but I don't really give a shit. Because again, this was just an amazing episode. But I just got to point out a little problem there. So Jack walks off to go find out where his body is telling him to go. Picard and Beverly pretty much see their son go off, and Picard mentions Jack's got the best parts of Beverly and the worst parts of himself, and Beverly has to tell him she was such a, well, she was too nice to Wesley. She was a lot hands-offish when she was bringing him up, and she lost him. She thought if she was a tougher mother with Jack, he wouldn't turn out like this. But she's lost another son now. And Picard tries to, comfort her, but she's not really having it. And then she walks off to try to figure out what to do about Jack. And Picard's pretty much left in this shit situation where he's lost his son. He's figured out he's found out his son's a Borg, and he doesn't know what to do. And then we get this great scene where Data comes in, tries to, console Picard. Picard kind of tells him that's not really going to help right now. But then all Data has to do, puts his arm on Picard's shoulder, and that pretty much helps Picard kind of deal with this. The next scene is Jack making it to his destination, where he ends up in his cloud field. He flies through it, and then eventually comes across a Borg cube, where he now sees that this is all real. He is a Borg, and now he wants to confront the Queen so that he can be free of her. So he beams on the ship. Oh no, that's not yet. No, Jack finds the Borg cube. Then we go to the next scene where Geordi explains to Picard what's happened to him and what's happening to Jack. So Picard, apparently his disease from the first season was bollocks. Dr. Sun, or his son, thought he had that disease, but it turned out the disease Picard had was a Borg disease that was killing him. And that disease is now also in Jack. So the Borg basically killed Picard with a disease that he's passed on. And also Geordi explains the DNA, Picard's DNA was changed by the Borg when he was assimilated. And unfortunately back then, they didn't have the technology to see that in Picard's body. And that is what the Changelings were after. The Changelings had found out that Picard had a Borg bioweapon inside him. So the Changelings wanted to use that bioweapon on the entire Federation so they could use the Borg to destroy the Federation. So, I mean, it gets so fucking insane, man. So, that was what the Changelings were involved with. To get the body of Picard and infect the Federation with a Borg virus. That has been the big plan for Frontier Day. But Beverly brings up, how is Jack controlling people who were never infected, or at least never assimilated by the Borg? How is he doing that? No, Picard asked about the two ensigns Jack controlled. Beverly brings up the fact, how has Jack been able to resist this Borg part of him for so long? And Picard tells her, you've been a great mother to Jack. Maybe that's all it takes to, keep his Borg side docile. But they still don't know how Jack's been able to control other people. So we find out later. But Worf brings up the fact that they need to figure out what the Changelings and what the Borg's plan is right now, because of Frontier Day, which is happening right now. And Picard then says they need to head to Earth and they need to warn the Federation about the Borg and the Changelings. But I just want to stop here for 1 second. This is amazing fucking writing. I mean, fucking hell. There's so many fucking layers. The Changelings making a bioweapon for the Borg. Are you fucking kidding me? How fucking amazing is that? Seriously. Why the fuck have we not been getting stories like this from anybody else? It is fucking annoying. We've had to wait 3 fucking seasons for fantastic storyline like this. Fuck's sake. Sorry, I know. Let's get back to the review. But I just wanted to say that. Fuck you, Alex Kurtzman. Fuck you. Somebody needs to give Terry the fucking keys to Star Trek, because this guy fucking knows what he's doing with Star Trek. Fucking hell, am I pissed off with that stupid son of a bitch Kurtzman. Fuck you again. Anyway. Whoop. Picard tells Shaw that they need to head to Earth to warn the Federation. And Shaw has to bring up the fact that, yes, that's a smart decision. Let's go right to Frontier Day where the entire Federation fleet is, because that's not a stupid idea. Fucking hell, Shaw. I know we're not there yet, but god damn it, that was so heart-wrenching. We're getting there, we're getting there. But Picard says it's the only play they've got left, and they have to do this to save the Federation. So Shaw sends the ship to Earth so they can warn the Federation. The next scene, we're at Frontier Day, and what comes out of space dock is the Star Trek F, I think. The one from Star Trek Online. And again, so much fan fucking love in this episode. The Star Trek F, I mean Star Trek F, the Enterprise F, that's such an amazing design. And it was so great seeing it. And it's being captained by Admiral Shelby. I'm hoping this is the same Admiral from season 2 who told Picard to shut the fuck up. Because if it is, oh, it's so funny what happens to her. Oh, please let it be her. I don't remember what the actress's name is. I don't remember what the Admiral's name is. Oh, sorry. I hated that bitch from season 2. If it's the same one, I don't know. Anyway, so Admiral Shelby starts off the Frontier Day celebrations with the final voyage of the Enterprise F. And she explains how the Federation started with the Enterprise EX class. And I thought that was I thought it was great to mention the EX class. And you know, I kind of wish she said Captain Archer in that speech. That would have been great. But she says that's how the Federation began, and this is how the Federation continued. I thought it was a good speech. I love seeing the Enterprise F fly off. It's a great design. And yeah, it was a great scene. Seeing all the fireworks in the background. God, it looked so great. No, that's not yet. We'll get there. Because in the celebrations, they're about to do something amazingly fucking stupid, the Federation. Oh, with the fleet control thing. Oh, it's such a dumb idea to put... we're not there yet. But by the way, I also have another criticism. And again, it is a dumb criticism. I know I might get shit for this. That doesn't look like the entire Federation fleet. I'm just saying. The Federation fleet got to be at least 1,000 ships, or at least 2,000. It didn't look like 1,000 ships to me. It might have been. But the fleet did look kind of small. But I know it's a stupid fucking criticism. I know. I'm just saying. We'd like to see a bit more ships. But I loved seeing all the designs. I mean, it was fucking amazing seeing, you know, all the different fucking classes of Federation ship. You know, because it's not fucking like season 1 where fucking Alex Kurtzman pretty much copy and pasted the same fucking ship to make it like a fucking fleet. You are a fucking idiot, Kurtzman. Would you just fuck off out of Star Trek? Okay, end of rant. Anyway, the next scene, we see Jack beam aboard the Borg cube, where we are introduced to the original Borg Queen, because that is the same actress I could tell by the voice. And I do feel sorry. The last actress who played the Borg Queen died. I am very sorry for her. I'm very sorry for the family. And that's what I'm going to say there. But I am just massively happy they got the original actress to come back, because she just knows what she's doing with this character, and it really fucking, I mean, it was just such a great scene between her and Jack. So Jack beams the Borg, he tries to find the Queen. The Queen then starts to talk to Jack and tells him how she loves him, how she's happy she's come, and that the fact that she wants to give him a new name, because he is pretty much now a god of the Borg. Technically, because he is their greatest weapon against the Federation, because he can control the Borg, basically. So she calls him Vox, and Jack pretty much tries to fight her. He refuses to take the name. He points his phaser at her, but the Queen pretty much says, "If you were here to kill me, you would have done it already." And then Jack kind of just surrenders to the Borg Queen, and she says, "Resistance is futile." Amazing fucking line when she says it. And he is then assimilated by the Borg, which is, holy shit, we might be actually fucked. But I'm kind of thinking maybe Jack is letting himself be assimilated so he can fight the Queen on his own. I don't know. Hopefully next episode, obviously next episode we're going to find out, but I love the scene between them. He's an amazing character. Oh, it was a great scene between them. So the next scene is a Titan arriving at Earth, where the celebrations for Frontier Day are continuing, and Admiral Shelby announces the dumbest fucking thing the Federation have ever done. Fleet coordination mode, basically. So the entire Federation fleet can be controlled by a computer, and that... oh God. Oh God. Yes, that is what they're also celebrating on Frontier Day. The new defense system of the Federation, which is to control the entire Federation fleet with the computer, just in case the worst situation happens and the entire fleet's crew are wiped out. The computer can still take over the fleet and defend the Federation. I got a problem with this. Whose dumb idea was it to have the entire Federation fleet controlled by one computer? Because that just seems... it just seems like a dumb fucking... oh, Jesus. Again, great episode, but come on. Nobody said this was a bad idea. Nobody. Are you fucking kidding me? I would have fucking been the first one to say this is a dumb idea. Oh, God. Doesn't take anything away from the story. I think it's still a great storyline, because it kind of makes sense that the Federation might actually do something that's stupid, because maybe the Changelings also tried to push the Federation into this sort of direction, as they have probably taken over a lot of high positions. So this was probably another plan of the Changelings to put the Borg virus in so they can control the entire Federation fleet and destroy the Federation. I think it's a fucking amazing plan by the Changelings and the Borg. I mean, it's just so fucking insanely good, and just kind of shows that the Federation are a bit stupid sometimes when it comes to defense. Anyway, Titan arrives, and Picard kind of realizes that whatever's happening is probably going to happen now. He tries to then get the communications officer to contact the fleet. She tells him that, well, actually, the computer systems of the Titan get taken over by the fleet computer, and so they're running out of time to send any communications to the fleet. So Picard tells the communication officer to send an emergency signal to all ships, and then Picard tells the entire fleet that they need to stop. They need to turn off their systems, because whatever the Changelings and the Borg are doing is going to happen now, and all of their ships are all susceptible to the Borg virus that is, you know, infiltrated their ships. And before anybody can react, oh no, before that scene, we find out how Jack was able to control everybody in the people that he's been controlling. It turns out the changelings have been using the transporters to infect the entire Federation crews. Every time you use a transporter, because Data explains this, every time you use a transporter, the transporter saves your code and your DNA. So the Borg virus then infects the body once you leave the transporter. So every time somebody has used a Federation or Starfleet transporter, they've all been getting infected with Borg DNA. So everybody under the age of 25, because their minds are not fully developed, the Borg have been able to infect them. And is anybody else kind of seeing a fucking real life fucking, oh my god, it's like the woke virus. If that is not the first thing that came into your mind, because it was me. Everybody under the age of 25 acted like a fucking moron all of a sudden. It was so... I don't know if that's what Terry was going for, but oh my god, it really did feel like that was making a political point of, you know, SJWs, because they all are so young. It was so fucking funny. But anyway, that's how Jack has been controlling them. And it turns out everybody in the Federation fleet has been technically assimilated by the Borg. So the Queen activates the Borg DNA in everybody under the age of 25, and everybody in the Armada then turns Borg. And then on the ship, when Shaw tries to get them to get out of there because the fact the fleet's been pretty much taken over by the Borg, you see the Bajoran officer has been fully infected. You then see Sydney has also been infected. So both Geordie's daughters have both been infected with the Borg DNA. And now that it's activated, Sydney turns round and says, "We are the Borg, and we've taken over the fleet." And then when Admiral Shelby tries to tell Picard what's happening on her ship, because now the Borg have assimilated everybody under the age of 25, they are now attacking everybody who has not been assimilated, and now the entire Federation's fleet is attacking itself with every Borg assimilated person killing all non-Borg assimilated. And it's just such a... And then you see Admiral Shelby get fucking killed. And again, if it's that same woman who told Admiral Picard to shut the fuck up, fuck you, that's what you get. Anyway, so Shaw, Seven, pretty much all realise the Borg signal's been sent, they've all been infected, and Seven grabs a grabs a phaser, tries to shoot at the security officers that have come on who are infected with the Borg virus. They all run off the bridge. The Borg have now taken over the bridge of the Titan, and now everybody in the Federation is pretty much killing each other, basically. Then you see Geordie wanting to run up to try and save his daughters, but they has to stop him because they need a plan to save his daughters. It's not going to work if he tries to run up there and just gets himself killed. So they need to figure out somewhere or some way to get off the ship, because it's not safe on Titan anymore, because there's a shipload of Borg now on the Titan. Luckily, it was a skeleton crew, if we're honest. So Picard, Seven, Shaw, and Riker are on the lift. What's it called? Turbo lift. Sorry, on the turbo lift. They get down to another level. They open the doors, and then they pretty much see shitload of Borg are now attacking everybody who's not been assimilated. They close the doors quick, and then Titan picks up a signal from the USS Excelsior, which has managed to retake control of their bridge. Unfortunately, though, the Borg have realised this, and as the ships are controlled by the computer, they move the Excelsior from the fleet and use 4 other Federation ships to blow up the Excelsior. And the last message from the captain of the Excelsior was a message to his kids, and the ship is then exploded. So they can't use any Federation ship that has the computer virus in it, because the Borg will just take control of it. So they need to find a ship that's not being controlled. We are getting to that point. But then Picard kind of asks, how was the Excelsior able to send a communication when the Borg have taken over all systems? And Shaw realises it's a communications from an engineering core or something. So he realises the way to get off the Titan is to use the engineering shuttle. So they get down to the shuttle bay, the engineering bay, where there's a shuttle. So that's their plan to escape. They get off the elevator, and then they're met by Troy, Worf, Raffi, and everybody's there basically. Glad to see them. They all team up and they head. They're trying to get the door open to the shuttle, but they can't do it right now. So they all try to open the door. Then they're attacked by the Borg, and Shaw and Seven and Raffi try to hold them off so that all the crew can get to the shuttle. And while Shaw is helping them, this is the worst scene. I'm not saying it's a bad scene, but what happens, man? God damn it. While Shaw is trying to make sure they're all getting away safe, and Picard is trying to get away safe, Shaw is then hit with a phaser and dies. Well, he's not there yet. He gets seriously injured. Picard doesn't want to leave him behind, but Seven and Raffi tell him he has to go and save the Federation, basically. Seven tries to see if she can save Shaw, and Shaw says that it's not his ship anymore, it's Seven's ship now, and he dies. And this was fucking painful. Like, fucking hell, man. We have been on a journey with fucking Shaw. Didn't like him at the start, loved him in everything else, and losing Shaw was fucking heart-wrenching, man. Yesterday I watched fucking Mandalorian, and I saw the ending of that shit, and a character died then, and I couldn't give a fuck about that Mandalorian twat. Shaw dying was fucking painful. It was fucking painful, man. I don't care that he gave the fucking Titan to Seven. She's earned it. I don't care. Him dying fucking hurt, man. And it makes such good sense story-wise, but fuck me, that was hard. I'm gonna miss that, man. I'm gonna miss him, man. Fucking hell. So Raffi tells Picard to get on the ship, where Seven and Raffi try to hold off the Borg so they can escape. They get to the shuttle where Geordi and Data... Oh, fucking hell, man. I'm still fucking hurting on Shaw, man. I'm still fucking hurting. That is such a fucking loss, man. And that's what stories... That's why this episode is great. A character I've only just fucking met, basically, a couple of weeks ago. And I am fucking sad he's dead. Fuck. And some random prick in Mandalorian who's been there for 3 fucking seasons, and I couldn't give a shit that he died. I couldn't give a shit that prick died. Guy I've watched for 1 fucking season, and it's heart-wrenching. That is fucking storytelling at its fucking best. Fuck you, Lucasfilm. Fuck you, Dave Filoni. Fuck you, Favreau. That's how you write. Anyway, we get a great scene between Data and the Forge, Geordi, where Geordi tells Data to be optimistic because Data kind of brings up the fact they need to fight. They can't really fight the entire Federation fleet with a fucking shuttle. And Geordi says, "Listen, be more optimistic." And then you get this funny line from Data when he says, "We're going to die painfully" or something. And it was just funny. I fucking loved it. It's great that Data has emotions now because that was just so funny. They get on the shuttle pod. They launch off. They leave Seven and Raffi behind to hold off, so they can hold off the Borg. And then they warp out of there. And then the Borg take full control of the Federation fleet. They send a signal to Earth that anybody who has not been assimilated, the weak will die and the young will live under the Borg. And the Borg target all their weapons to the Federation station, and then the scene cuts. Kind of gutted we didn't see the Borg destroy the station, but what can you do? And then we're on the shuttle pod, we make it to the museum, and this fucking bit, we make it to the museum, and Geordi opens the doors to the Enterprise fucking D. They explain this perfectly. Everybody's shocked to see the Enterprise D, and Geordi explains that they had to recover the saucer section because it was too close to people who, well, it would break the Prime Directive rules to leave the saucer section on the planet. So they recovered the saucer section, and the engine parts and the nacelles are both from different galaxy classes. And Geordi has been rebuilding the Enterprise D. We also get a funny line from Worf, who has pretty much, well, they explain why they're using the D. Why they're using Enterprise D and not Enterprise E. And it turns out Worf might have blown up Enterprise E. Listen, I liked Enterprise E. I thought it was a good design, but you're never going to beat the Galaxy class. And it's just so amazing to see the Galaxy class, the Enterprise D again. I am so fucking happy, but we're not even at the best fucking bit yet. I know seeing the Enterprise D is great, but the next bit just beats it because they board the Enterprise D, and we are then reintroduced to the Enterprise D bridge, and it was just so fucking amazing to see it. The respect they are giving Star Trek fans in this one fucking scene. How the fuck is it taking us so long to get this sort of respect from any fucking franchise? It's amazing to me. They walk on the bridge. It looks so fucking amazing, and I kind of now starting to see where most of the budget of this season went, and it is fucking worth every penny. To see that bridge again, fucking amazing. Worf then brings up the fact he liked Enterprise E's tactical systems better, but Worf, fuck off right now. We're enjoying the moment now. A funny scene, but we're enjoying the moment of being back on the real Enterprise. I know people are going to say the original bridge is the original, but the Enterprise D bridge was my first bridge when I was a kid. And seeing that bridge again was a fucking amazing. And so Picard asked the crew to go back to Earth with him to fight the Borg. They all agree. They go to their systems. Data mentions how he's starting to feel more emotions about the Enterprise D because now he has emotions. And then Picard asks Geordi if he can sit in the captain's chair. Geordi obviously going to let him do that. And Picard sits in that seat. The Enterprise D heads out of space dock. And Picard says, engage. And the episode ends with the Enterprise heading back to fight the Borg over Earth. And that is how this fucking amazing episode ends. 10 out of 10. I am fucking blown away. This was amazing. I'm watching it again right after this review. I'm just so fucking happy. I'm just so fucking happy. I cannot believe we finally got this level of Star Trek. I'm just so happy. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you have a comment, I will get back to you when I can. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. Entertainment World Soldier. Bye.